What to do? Yeah. You see that this one's now 235 and then it stops. So the 7 is not visible. This is because we copy the elements and then what we do afterwards with the container is not visible. And I don't like that. Hello, AVRG. I would rather have that maybe, well, sometimes you want to copy the elements because maybe the container is destructured, although that seems unlikely. So I definitely need a method to add a container as container. I guess, and afterwards you cannot even move it anymore. But that should be okay. How shall I copy this? Call this, I mean. Let's say, well, I'll use copy elements for A, and I'm going to do something else for B, and then we'll see the 19 back. Because we're not really copying elements, I'm just linking a container. This is link, just link or link container. in container. Now, I would like to do, let's say, work with iterators, but that's not going to work because, yeah, afterwards I add something that invalidates iterators, or at the very least the end iterator. So, if I do it like this, I really have to store a reference or a pointer to the container itself, which has an arbitrary type. So that's kind of difficult. I guess I need to get rid of the type of the container and then still be able to track its elements, even if elements are being removed in the middle or added somewhere. Type erasure, they call that. No good idea how to do that except by maybe storing a lambda, 2 lambdas, to get the beginning and the end. At a later time. Yeah, why not? So I'm just wondering if this is efficient or not. Instead of 2 lambdas, I could make a new class. So basically the same as the lambda, but a single one. Sorry. Or a single lambda that returns a pair, maybe. A begin end pair. Okay, link container. Now, copy elements demands that the container here is a concept indexable container. And I guess that's exactly the same thing that we demand for a link container then. Copy elements, yeah. So I'm going to have the same concept. Void a link container. Yeah, let's not use a lambda. So I'm going to use a new thing that basically is a container reference, an indexable container reference. So let's call it like that. Now let's use it as if it exists. I'm gonna need it in right HTML2, I think. Yeah, I think the trick is that I can construct it by default. Oops. With this vector. Or maybe, yeah. Yeah. No, not here. Let's do that here then. So you copy elements. In the end, we end up here always, I think. Yeah. I want to do link container elements, although this demands that it is a indexable container. On my standard vector is not. Well, it is, but not the type that I use here. Yeah, the whole thing was a bit. There was something else wrong with it. Now I think about it. Maybe I should relax my concept a little bit. Just accept any container. Feels like I should not use this concept at all. I think I'm using it somewhere else though. Let's have a look. Nope, only using it there. That's strange. That is strange. Yeah, that's what I mean with index. So my index container set knows about the index type. So the add container must use that concept. But not necessarily table node. This adds content. Sorry, this adds a table node directly. What? Oh, table A. Yeah. Yeah. So if it dropped that demand, then we would lose some type safety. But I think that is the case anyway. I could use a different index here. Add different indexes to table nodes, and then add those table nodes to an index container set using yet another or just one of the index types. Or there is no there is no type safety at all at the moment. Anyway, yeah. So let's drop the concept for now. Or let's relax it rather. As in, it must have a I think the index type there is a size type. So yeah, I don't know, man. Begin and end must exist. Well, that is just iterator. Iterator type or iterator? It's just iterator. No, 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 no. It's not that easy. Hey, Ivan. Yeah, I would definitely use it very rarely. Yeah. Okay, I need this concept. I need a concept to be able to do this and make the lambda. Why would I have a declaration value of t here? Yeah, okay, because here I want a const one. Yeah. So this would be also an indexable container, but then a size type indexable. So maybe I should call it like that. It's a normal indexable container or size. I'll call it a size type. Yeah, so we have a square bracket operator for size types, and a begin and an end. Not even sure I need that. I don't need that then. I just need size. And these are my own containers, which have an I begin and an I end, and they must be dereferenced. Oh, sorry, yeah, well, a square bracket operator that takes an index type. Let's see if this still compiles, because I'm just guessing a little bit here and there. Must be a semicolon there, apparently. Oh, that's undo the error, stop. Unknown type name indexable container reference. So it got past my concepts, apparently. Okay, so let's comment this one out for now. Let's put this higher. So now I can link an indexable container, but elements is of the other kind. So I'm going to have to implement as well one that takes a size type indexable container. And that the one is then going to be used here. Your matching member function for call to link container elements candidate template ignored constraint not satisfied. So that's about the concept indexable container. Hello, Derek. TI begin would be a valid number. I begin, yeah. Well, this one should be accepted. And it says it doesn't. Because type constraint, same as, was not satisfied. Yeah, they look the same to me except for the reference. The one is a CPP graph is dot table element reference, and the other is a CPP graph is dot table element no reference. Yeah, that is kind of correct, I guess. that operator returns also a reference. I probably should do the exact same as as above. Obviously, I would say. Okay, let's not use T, let's just use this. Although there's no difference. But then we can add another one. We use a const T, which then returns a const reference. Let's test both, you know. No member named link container in cpp-grasser.table node. What? No member named link container in cpp-grasser's table node. Man, that gives me GPT-4 deja vu. Compiler is very certain of itself. So this does not exist, but it has a color and you can jump to it. Explain. Table node data. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I have to add this as well then for the links. Let's take the comment with me. Data link container. Yeah. No. Link container to be implemented. Hmm. I don't know how to do that. I think I'm just using type erasure stuff. No, I'm just going to use the function. And then the function stores a lambda, and the lambda returns what I need. So we return a, oh fuck, also not possible. Hmm. Yeah, I think I have to just convert these to their base class. Is that not possible? So I say vector here. Vector is probably derived from a standard vector. Actually, with a bit of effort, you can still access these things. I'm hiding the operator here, but I'm not really shielding it completely. So let's see. Yeah, this is definitely a problem. Seems I need two lambdas. That's why I wanted to write my own thing, but okay. Let's write one that is that returns container size, so that would return a size type, and that's it. Let's begin with this one. Yeah, so this is a lambda. We store a reference to container in it, and then you can call it, and then it's going to return the size of that container. And we store that here as a function. And then I need another one that returns a node. That is our table element, I guess. My table element is a wraparound node. That looks like a copy of a node, which is kind of silly. Okay, let's make something that returns a table element. I can create a table element from a node. Let's add a move constructor. What do you think? So now I can move construct a table element from a node, and I want my function to return table elements. Yeah, also need a probably a move constructor. I still have that maybe. Should still have a move constructor, the default one. So now I have here a standard function or a function that returns a table element and takes a size type. And I'm initializing it with a lambda that stores a reference to the container, and then when you call it, passing the index just returns the square bracket operator of it. And that works because this is a size type indexable container. I want to see if this compiles. Yep, it does. And then if this one is being called, you have to do something like it, but this won't work anymore, I think. At least the size type still works, and I'm not hiding that. But my container is not really, you cannot dereference it anymore like that. So here I have to cast select cast. Wait, I did that before. Copy elements. Yeah, it's constructed. So exactly that thing is all we need, except an index. So I can construct an index type explicitly from a size type, and now we can use that to for the square bracket operator here. And then this should still compile. And then I have to implement write HTML too in terms of these two lambda function or standard functions instead of elements. So rename that one to elements 2. So I need a size. So I just call the standard function now, and that returns the size one way or another. Yeah, by the way, this also means that since I'm using link container here, we are not anymore allowed to move elements too. Which means we are not allowed to move the table node data. But that's okay. That's allocated on the heap and only pointed to by boost intrusive pointer, so that won't move indeed. So that's safe. Okay. And here we read port, and that becomes container reference function, and that takes an index, and that then returns something that I hope we can use. Now, port is not a size type here. Maybe I should make it a size type. And here the same thing, so maybe I should make that a reference as well. Let me think. I think it was returning something, whatever it was. The table element. Yeah. Yeah, what shall I say about it? Well, I have to construct a table element because sometimes it's not this thing, it's another container. So the table element then is returned from that thing. So table element is going to be constructed from the node that is a base class of whatever is returned here. Anyway, table elements. Well, I had what I always had, some fruits with yeah, what is the word in English? White and creamy stuff. It's I always think it's called French cheese, but it sounds so wrong. It's more like yogurt, Greek yogurt. If yogurt is English. It's called table elements because I have no creativity when it comes. No, it is better to call it what it is. No, it's not that greasy. Don't tell me you don't know what Greek yogurt is in English. Greek yogurt, is that something like that? And actually, usually I buy this, which is 2% grease, but then it's even a lot more like yogurt. Even less stiff, as it were. But just a little bit, and then loads of fruit. write HTML2. Yeah, you're completely distracting me again. Table element. It compiles. That looks good. I guess that still works then. For unknown reason, I didn't break it. There's the other one. Probably way up. Tip. That also still works. Not even sure what I just did, but nothing changed. It still works. Oh no, what did I do? Oh wait, I know what I did. Yeah, not still works. It actually works now. So we have here 19 is now being added and the 7 is not added. And the reason is that for B I did link container so that it just gives a reference to the container, and therefore I can add 19 after the fact. But here I just copied the elements, so then adding the 7 didn't do anything. So both work. Awesome. Yeah, and then we go to wherever I was. And I'm going to call this copied elements. Oops. Right, which brings us to the following point. I want these two to be top aligned. Wait, they cannot even have the different size. That would be ridiculous. I should probably assert when that happens. Yeah, that's worth an assert. They should absolutely have the same size. So how do I assert there? I think I can only know that at the moment I'm generating the dot format stuff of this A index thing. But this is the outer cluster. So I think it's still a part of this class here. Yeah, it's a part of the HTML. What do I do? Create one? Is that a thing? No, this object just adds subgraphs. and then it loses control. And since it has a reference to containers now, someone else behind its back can add elements like I just did. But the dot classes have no idea, so I'm afraid that I cannot check this. I cannot check that the size has to be the same without adding more code, which is ridiculous because that would just be a debug check. Yeah. So doing the right thing would be to make sure that they have the same size, as in like do this one here and that one afterwards. But yeah, we still can have a problem now that if the label is such that the height of one element becomes too high, then I'm still not happy anyway. I was thinking about making the whole thing one table. And then I need to be aware of the tables that are added to this object, which I'm not at the moment. Not sure if I want to do that. Let's not do that yet. What would be the next logical step to do here? Let's write a new test. Let's look at Hello World again. It's been a while that I ran that. It's still colorful. Was there no link to these things? First, second, third. No, I guess not. Let's change this one into link container. Yeah, okay, so still. Mm-hmm. I think there's something like a class. And then let's say a class with members. Let's say we have a class with 2 members, and the members are also nodes. They could be their own class actually, but no. Yeah. I'm just thinking if I use too many cluster subgraphs, and then I might mess up the actual graph. Not giving dot anymore the ability to move stuff around, to make the edges as short as possible. So on one hand, I was thinking like an object with 2 members could be displayed as a cluster graph. So the same thing as here. This is a cluster graph, the blue thing, and then you can put nodes inside it. So in this case, this could be a class, and then these 2 things are members, but they are inside it. You cannot move this outside that blue box. Now in this case that doesn't matter because there's a really short edge here. But imagine that the only thing that links to this thing is some other object outside here. And things would just look way better if you move this node outside of the A index, closer to whatever's linking to it, and then have a single edge from A index to this table, saying, oh, that table is a member of A index. So maybe not a pointer, but some other kind of edge. I guess it's just those are two different ways to visualize the same thing. You have to pick one, or maybe you can implement both. Well, actually, why not? So the whole thing is a class. I think I'm going to begin with implementing it that it is inside the box. But I have to keep in mind that I might want to put it also outside with a special edge. So this is a new test, and the test is, let's say, class members test. So is that good? Members test, no, class member test. And then the editor. Con type. Include sys.h. No namespace, just main. And let's see if I can remember how to do that. Debug. Namespace debug, I think. No. Debug. Namespace. Also not. Gotta be kidding me. Gotta be one of these. There we are. Init. For which we need debug. And then I'm going to, well, let's also do this thing here. Using a namespace. Can't type, really can't type. What the hell is going on? I just, undo is not helping, and redo is also not giving me any. Stupid compiler. Stupid editor. Using namespace TPP graph vis. Now I want to have a simple thing called A derived from, yeah, before I called it node. So we have 3 nodes. And C has 2 members, A and B. But I have to tell the CPP graph is that this is a member of the other one. Unless I would use libcwd to figure that out. Which is possible, but only easy when I would make it a memory allocation. So now I'm not going to do that. So we are going to have to, well, actually, you know, I could do it like this. I am a member of this, but I think that's too intrusive. Then we would have to change a lot of code just to get the graph to work. Probably makes more sense to just demand that it has constructors and then add something to the constructor. Although if I derive from node, I might as well pass to node that I have it, right? Maybe. So I could say, okay, I'm gonna construct node with the fact that A and B are members. Suppose this is an idea. It is an idea. Is it not still too intrusive? In the end, using constructors is often very limiting. So for debug code like this, I don't like to do that. I want to keep the GraphViz stuff super flexible. So I would like to only use default constructors for this case, which means that we would have to call a function instead, after the fact, as it were. You could even do that outside of the constructor afterwards. That's what makes it powerful. More flexible, I should say. More flexible than demanding that you do it in the constructor. So it might not be necessary, but suppose there is another function, add member, being used by the user. It does something totally unrelated, then at least this would still work. Yeah, we also have to give the labels to everything. So let's add a new member function and set labels. And then I call the base class set label. And I'll call that, well, for now A. But of course you can also pass the labels to this function then and pass that. I mean, A is a type, right? We should have a label that shows which instance it is, not just a type. But then likewise I could call set label on A. We can call that A and B. Okay, so I'm going to need something that is called a node. That I can derive from. So let's make an C set node labels. Add C. We're getting there. Okay, how did I call this thing? I have no idea. Class member test. Substitute something with class member test. something being that. And I added a node HPP. What was the other thing? Add member, right? I'm not sure it can be const reference, but let's begin with that. I meant add graph, maybe? Yeah. Oh, I can only add graphs. Wait a minute. No, something else. This add. That's the add that I meant. Oh, right. So that only works when I have an add to graph function. Yep, just talking about that concept as well. I think 39. Yeah, they're compiled. Lots of undefined references. That's these three functions. Oh, we can begin with add to graph. Add member. Well, that's just adding a node to my graph. That would be add node. Node. What else can it be? No. No viable conversion from our const node to from my node to a dot node. Oh well, I think forget the whole node thing. Oh wait, just add a graph. Out of graph, add graph, out of graph. Something tells me that's not correct. It's not like node dot out of graph. Definitely wanted to be a cluster graph. Your typical graph is a graph data thing. which doesn't know anything about classes. So I have to add an attribute to it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what this does. So then I need an autograph function here, accessor. So that did compile class member test. I don't think these will be visible without a node in it. Oh, they are. They're also classes. Everything is a cluster. Yeah, totally visible. All the colors are white for some reason, but I need a node. I guess we need a node. Yeah, we need nodes. So that would be class A having two members, A and AB. And then if one of them doesn't have any nodes, then they're completely invisible. Mm. I don't know what to do. How should this look? I mean, currently it looks like this, but how should it look? I guess it makes totally sense that we have this box here, because, well, these are members of A. But I mean, at some point you have to stop. I don't want to say I don't want to show members of this thing. I mean, at some point it's just a node of the label, right? So as soon as something does not have members, then maybe it should be displayed in a different way. Well, definitely not with this int. Or maybe it does, maybe it does. Maybe I could indeed say, I use this as a label to show that it is the member A of A. This would be label C, right? I mean, I don't care about type. Do I not care about type? No, I do not care about type. Yeah, I think what you really need is a virtual function that implements its own label. So let's say the node here does have a virtual function, and then we implement it. Doing string view seems weird, but it should work. Let's try this. I need to implement, what do I need to include again here? Completely forgot. Using standard. No idea. Using namespace was even, I think. Something. literals. Using namespace standard literals. Okay. So it's starting to feel have the feeling that this node here sometimes need to be a node, right? Not a graph. So a graph is a graph template of graph data, and a node is a graph template of graph node. Different things. Maybe I should make a union then. Is that too ugly? A union? Can you make a union of something that has constructors? Let me try. Let's just try it. How dirty. So either it's a graph or it's a node. I don't think so. Yeah, I think I have to stop. Think about this because I'm just randomly trying things. It's usually going nowhere. Can't leave until it compiles though. No matching literal operator for call to operator SV with arguments of type character const pointer and unsigned long. Oh, fuck. Called implicitly deleted default constructor A. Because node has a deleted destructor. Node implicitly deleted. Because our graph is a non-trivial destructor. Oh. Called implicitly deleted default constructor of B. Default constructor of B is implicitly deleted because base class CBB GraphViz node has a deleted destructor. The destructor of node is implicitly deleted because a variant field outer graph has a non-trivial destructor. I've never seen that error before. Oh, in other words, you cannot put them both in a union. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, for now. And we're back to white again. Okay, I'm going to do something else. Sleepy. Why am I sleepy? I lay in bed 12 hours a day. When I wake up after 8 hours, I'm exhausted and just don't feel that I rested at all. So I turn around and then sleep again. And then by the time I lay in bed 12 hours, I'm like, I should get out of bed. Because I've been in bed too long. Don't you hate it? And now I feel like sleeping again. It's like 5 hours. 5 hours ago I got out of bed. But if now I go sleep, then I will never fall asleep again. So it's not allowed. What can we do? Anyway, this requires some thought. So I'll think about this while off stream. Thank you for keeping me company, and I'll be back later. I'll even try to eat dinner.